Can you tell me how this is going to look? I think we're probably going to get an ad first.
Let's see what our ad is today. One never knows who's sponsoring a show like this. And it was definitely a Formula One adjacent product.
Legit.
I gotta tell you something.
I think you might be. I mean, messing it up now would be
again
just dumb.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. That's the key. Get this his mic right. There he goes. Welcome everybody. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. This is, thank God, it's Tuesday. He's Tim Strachan.
Good to be here on a Tuesday night. It's good to have a new guest host.
Yeah.
You know, we got to throw a shout out to our boy Kevin Ricka and to Aaron.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I forget what year. How many years did he say?
53.
No, it's like 15, right?
15.
I think it's in that ballpark. Somewhere in there. Congratulations, guys.
We are
good stuff.
Also joined by probably the most popular member of First Amendment Sports in the history of our organization.
I'm telling you, this has been a pleasant
My mic.
pre-show.
First of all, Benjamin set
really
the mics.
well.
Benjamin set the mics. And what he did was he turned my mic off. Which is
No.
totally what I would have done to him.
Oh, your
In
mic
fact,
wasn't
what I
on.
did do to him.
See, he's a trickster too.
He's ready. Oh, he wants
Jesus,
he wants
he's
to be
always looking. Yeah,
I was picked up.
I know.
I mean, you still heard. You got the gist. Thank God it's Tuesday. There was a Formula One reference made on the board and in the basement. We're without Kevin Ricka, but we are with Benjamin. And let's see. We have it's kind of like a catch your breath type week. A catch your breath type period for us fans. Not that we were out of breath.
Now, if you're a hockey fan, you're
Did
excited.
you watch the game last night?
No,
I did.
I'm not that big of a hockey fan. I need the Caps to be in it to really be invested.
So it's good hockey.
Just not a hockey fan.
Yeah, it's really
There's
good
so
hockey.
much other stuff I'd rather watch.
But like I would figure you would be more
I pay attention, but I don't.
a fan
I
of
don't
at
watch
this
it.
stage. Like these guys have been
Hockey.
playing. No, not the championship stage. At this stage of a stretch where grown ass men, like professional athletes, have been beating the absolute piss out of each other every other night.
Yeah.
For over a month. So you make it to the Stanley Cup. You've been doing that
So
for
I
about
got
a
that
month.
itch during the NBA Finals, right? Which I loved watching, and I did watch all those games. I can't bring myself to do it on hockey
Understood.
if the Caps aren't in it. I'm just not into it.
Would you
There's
say
a
there
lot
was
of good-
ever a
there's a lot
time
of-
in football
There's a lot of good stuff to watch
when you were a
right
super
now. There's
little
a lot
kid
of good stuff to stream
that
right
you
now.
didn't watch football when the Redskins were out of it? After the Redskins lost in the playoffs, there was a time when you were like, all right, I'm done.
No,
Like when you were like 5 years old?
no,
You still watch
never
the
has that
playoffs?
ever happened with football.
Like if
No.
Dallas beat us,
I enjoy watching USFL right now. I mean, it's. I'll
if the
watch
Cowboys
any
beat
football.
us in the playoffs and then they played the next week, you would watch that game?
Yes.
Yeah, I probably would too. Damn it.
Why wouldn't you?
There was a couple years when I was a little kid where I remember being so heartbroken when we lost in the playoffs. We were in the playoffs every single year. We won a bunch of Super Bowls. We made it super deep. So losing
You
the
would
playoffs
stop. You would
hurt.
deprive yourself of the rest of the football season.
Like I didn't watch any TV. Like I didn't do anything. I moped for like a week. It was terrible.
Well, you needed to get over it.
It took me a while. It was not easy, especially when like we had playoff losses to NFC East opponents. I mean, that was just, and we were always playing NFC East the playoffs because we were all good. We all made the playoffs. I hated them. Hated them. Never forget 1983 championship game against the Cowboys. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's like the greatest.
Yeah.
So that's my first overall pick in a newly formed draft that we just are gonna do one round of. And I'll pick some people
Historical
on the
games
board.
you would want to be at.
No. Greatest playoff win ever. First round off the board, obviously, has got to be, in my opinion, the '83 NFC Championship game. You care to go second on that?
Ooh, any playoff game?
Any
We gotta go- you
any
gotta go-
Redskins
It's
win.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would say playoffs. I know it's technically the postseason, but I would say playoffs.
A lot of stipulations here. That's
Playoffs
not good
only.
with me.
Of
I
course,
don't do
Super
well.
Bowl. Otherwise, I would have picked John Riggins at 4th and 1.
Well, then I'm not gonna, dude. Again, have you heard Ricka? I don't remember dates.
Not the actual
kidding?
date, but like the game. Like you can't remember the sequential game against the
No,
Falcons.
No, don't put me on a spot like that.
I'm putting you on the spot. All right, board. First one off. First pick overall. Redskins over Cowboys in the
Kidding me?
NFC Championship game. Greatest Washington playoff games. Not that you want to be at.
researched.
You can't think of one right off the top of your head. I mean, for me, that season, that '91 season, when we beat Atlanta at RFK, and they had my dad went to it. I don't know how he got a ticket, but he got a ticket. They handed out seat cushions. Seat cushions came out,
You
rained
still have that
down.
seat cushion?
I had it for a long time. A long time. I don't know.
What
it
happened
didn't
to it? What was
survive.
it?
I mean,
What was its
ultimately,
demise?
I don't think it survived. Like
I'm more
kids.
interested in knowing what the demise of that seat cushion is.
I think the demise of that seat cushion was three small children.
Ah,
It wasn't like I didn't.
just tossed in the trash. You think?
I'd
Was it
like
left-
to think
was it left behind at a game
no.
to be put away? in
I
its
think
pro-
it
in its
ultimately ended
proper
up in my
place where
truck.
it was meant to be.
I think it ultimately ended up in my truck, and then I don't know what happened with it from there. Damn, that was a good. The 1987 NFC Championship Vikings line up for 4th and 4 at the Redskins
Yeah,
6-yard
that was
line.
good.
Darryl Green, D'd up. Yeah, that was amazing. I thought, shoot, I wish there was a game we could point to in recent times. Unfortunately, we did get that Tampa Bay win, right, with Sean Taylor and
That's true.
those guys, and that was really the best. I think the best Redskins postseason game that I can remember. I mean, 90. Okay, I'll give you another one. 99 Redskins over Lions at FedEx. We won the NFC East, so we got to host a playoff game. Brad Johnson scrambles, gets decked, late,
Well, that's-
gives a hit. Then he's on the sidelines flexing on the jumbotron, and everyone's going nuts. Larry Centers made a huge play in that game, I believe. So that was fun. But man, it's been. To be
Hasn't
fair
been
to
a
you,
lot. Hasn't been a
you do
lot.
have to look back quite a long distance to get to
Hasn't
where
been
you
a
want
lot.
to be.
I don't remember what happened last week, dude.
I don't know. So, I mean,
Come
yeah, manner of speaking, he's got it right. Snyder era, nope. But the good news is that we just signed Terry McLaurin to that huge deal. He's locked in here for his career. It's awesome. And that did not happen.
I was like,
I'm
wait,
willing it into existence. Willing it into
I don't
existence.
think I saw the breaking news before.
Dan Snyder's obviously selling the team.
That would have been a big, huge.
Congress is locking him up. Lock him up. Lock him up. Isn't that what they do? Nothing's really happening right now.
No, nothing's happening.
Good
Nothing.
and bad. Nothing good, nothing bad, just
Nothing at
nothing.
all.
You know what? How about this?
Been a week of nothingness when it comes to football.
But there is something. Rivera got
Gronk retired today, by the way.
Gronk retired, but Rivera got fined, however much, 100 grand, 10 grand, whatever.
Yeah, we lose a couple
Lose a
practices.
couple practices. I think in the scheme of things, if that's the worst news for
What
your
I've
team,
heard for what
it's all
was,
good.
what was violated, I mean, it's getting ridiculous how these guys are being treated now. I mean, it's almost been like they're being treated like children. I mean,
I almost would just.
I would actually be embarrassed
do
as,
it.
as an NFL player today. Some of the things that they're fining people for, like, come on.
I get your money's worth, right? Line them up for
Come on, you're a
Oklahoma's
professional
right out of the gate and be like,
adult.
you know what? We're going to lose 2 practices, but you're doing Oklahoma's today. Anyone who doesn't do Oklahoma's, guess what? You might not make the team. Right now, there's 100+ guys, so you can actually get away with that. I mean, obviously, like, I'm not making Terry McLaurin do Oklahoma. Here, let's come up with our non-Oklahoma list real fast. Non-Oklahoma list.
What's a non-Oklahoma list?
Because when you want to be a badass
No
coach.
offense to any Oklahomans out
No
there.
offense to the Oklahomans. No, you don't want to. You want to be a badass coach. You know you're going to take the penalty and get docked a few practices, but you want to have 2 players line up on the ground on their backs. You want to blow the whistle, then they get up and they bang each other as hard as possible.
Yeah, I did that when I was a kid.
Of course, we all did. I did
sure.
that too. The day they gave us our helmet and shoulder pads from a big barn in Southern Maryland, my brother and I went home, got suited up, and my little sister had a whistle. She was like 5, and we would lay on our backs in the middle of the yard. We'd put 2 4x4s next to each other. We laid on our backs. She would blow the whistle, and we would just get up and pop each other all afternoon.
Awesome.
Okay, so Curtis Samuel, we're not making him. So these are guys we'd say, okay, I want to do it, but I'm not going to make these guys do it. Carson Wentz, obviously, quarterbacks, no dice.
Yeah,
maybe
none of those guys.
maybe
they don't do any of that.
maybe
stuff.
Taylor Heineke, just one.
Chase. Let's keep Chase out.
No Chase, no Jonathan Allen.
I don't
Actually,
know
you
if
what?
Jonathan Allen would allow you to take him out.
And I would respect that.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. He would elect to stay in. No corners. Corners don't do that stuff.
Corners can do it against corners.
They don't even like that, really.
Yeah, well, guess what? We got a lot of them.
Yeah.
And we need guys who can and want to hit. William Jackson will hit somebody. Let's see. Obviously, no Terry. No, I'm not doing. I'm doing. De'Ami Brown's getting in there.
He's got to show you something.
He doesn't have to show me something. He just has to be. This is a team
like he needs to
exercise.
show you
This
something.
is a very few exceptions. These have to be. Like I would be, like accused of a crime if someone got hurt doing these Oklahomas that I know we're not
Only
supposed to
that which a Catholic principle would allow. None allow.
do. A Catholic
You
nun.
have to have that kind
a Catholic
of
nun
strict.
would put Terry
You have to have
McLaurin
it very
in that
strict.
drill.
Well, I mean, no, she might let just one or two by.
I don't know. We don't have any. I mean, I'm putting everyone else out there.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring some guys back. Like some like.
And you think that this team needs that? Maybe.
Yeah, I think every team needs that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think there's any team that doesn't need it.
Do you think Ron Rivera did whatever he did, knowing he was going to get
No,
Yeah.
probably not.
F it? I'm just going to do this anyway.
Okay, so I hope so, but I don't think so.
I actually don't even remember the details, but I remember reading them and going, "That's what he got fined for."
Yeah.
And that's what he lost.
That's why. They get your money's worth.
It's ridiculous.
You're gonna
Yeah,
get
he
fined in these
should.
practices. Get your money's worth.
Yes.
Like give them paintball guns. Give them whatever. Like make them really think about things out on that field if you're gonna pay the price. And like you got coaches canceling practices anyways because they also to what we're saying. There's always so much value you can get in just putting a bunch of guys in shorts and making them run around. I mean, there's some value, but they're already doing that. They're getting together as groups. They're throwing the receivers and the quarterbacks are running routes.
They got a lot of value out of it back in the pre-2000s,
Yeah, at Carlisle.
but it was really dangerous.
But you know what? We say that, but that's a financial consideration, of course. So what I'm saying
Well, it
is,
only took a few people to die to make sure that it wasn't going to happen again, and then
that's true.
yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm
there
also
was
talking
real
about like
reasons why they
inner
put in
squad
sanctions,
scrimmages we
but
had with the Steelers.
My thing is they've gone so far now, and it's almost as if
They've gone too
it's
far.
like a nanny state, for crying out loud. The NFL is like a nanny state.
NFL is a nanny state. That is a take. I don't know if you've heard it too much, on sports radio this week, but the NFL being a nanny state is a thing.
They really are, and the NFLPA is a part of that too. I mean, what they can or can't do, it's getting ridiculous.
So there's a huge. I'm in brainstorming things. So the NFL just got a gigantic network TV deal. They did all that a year ago. There's always one. I always used to think like, all right, now they just kind of chill for a few years because they don't have one coming, and then all of a sudden you see that like NFL signs another $800 billion. I'm like, for F's sake, there's always one around the corner. So they got that wrapped up, but the DirecTV ticket is finished out this year, and it's going somewhere else. Or DirecTV, I guess, has a chance to keep it. I've been reporting
I never had DirecTV.
that it's Apple.
Never
Apple TV's gonna
experienced
get
it.
DirecTV.
Never-
That's the only
never-
reason why I have DirecTV.
Never experienced it ever in my life.
The second the DirecTV that no longer has the NFL ticket is the second that satellite comes off my house.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care about. I can watch movies and TV shows a billion ways. I don't need that thing. The only reason why I need that thing is so that I can watch 3 games at once, 4 games at once on Sundays.
There are 3 TVs
Yeah,
displayed
plus
on that,
computers and
on that wall
monitors.
right there. It's very well displayed, by the way.
Yes, thank you. And my family's fully on board, obviously, with this decision of.
I've never had the pleasure of watching a game.
That's not true. We did one this past year. We did
One game, but
Yeah.
it was like a night game. It was like a Monday night game or a Thursday night game. I
yeah.
haven't been in this room on a Super Bowl.
Not for lack of
on
invites.
an NFL Sunday.
You've always had like
Just a
stuff
regular
going
NFL
on.
Sunday.
I wish that would change.
It's probably
immediately.
more like I don't want to be over here. No offense. I'd just rather be I'm a homebody.
Yeah, I
but
understand.
I like watching it on my
The
own.
home field advantage for watching games
know.
in your house
It's
is there's no question.
I don't know.
It's the best place to watch a game. But I like watching all the games. So I have one channel's red zone, one channel's feature game, one screen is for a second game that I'm keeping my eye on. Usually, and then one screen I'm turning it to the game that the red zone channel just turned me on to. So you gotta mix and match. But it's I think
I've
Apple
never
TV is
really
gonna
been a
get it.
red zone guy either.
The trick to the red zone is when you fire all the screens up and all your games, you pause the red zone channel TV for like 15 to 25 seconds. Pause it.
Because they're ahead.
Because they're usually ahead of the other feeds. So you can get all your updates. The games you're watching, you'll see what's happening. The games, but you don't want to get an update of the game you're watching. You want to be like, no, 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 no. They're like telling you like 2 downs ahead. You don't want that. So, but the red zone. So I like the red zone for that. But also sometimes you get just the worst menu ever, especially in the 4 o'clock games. They need to do a better job of putting more games at 4 o'clock. Like there's no games. Like last year, I literally had the worst possible choice. There was like 3
But
games.
how
on
many
one afternoon.
teams can feasibly host a 4 o'clock game?
A lot of them, right? I mean, we host games at 8:30 on Monday nights. We host games at 7 o'clock on Sunday night. You can host a game anytime. You know, you can't. I mean, right? I mean,
You should just divide it down.
Just like
So
Kramer, just write it off. Just get set it. Put it on the
Pacific,
schedule.
all Pacific Coast teams, time zone teams could have to start at 4.
When Greg Martin is saying that they have the 2 games at 4 p.m. When they have, good evening, Tom. When they have the week 4 o'clock menu, so like it's the national game, so it could be it could be an East Coast game if it's like the I don't know, the Patriots or on CBS, or if they're doing the NFC games, you get a lot of Green Bay and Dallas and whatever. When they don't, if you don't have if a lot of AFC teams are on the road, especially, you're going to get hopefully you get like a Chargers game to watch. You can at least watch, Justin Herbert. Maybe you're going to get a Chiefs game. But seriously, like there was a couple weeks last year where there was 2 or 3 4 o'clock games, and that was it. Maybe because they had the London game, they had a couple extra Monday night games, whatever. But absolute disaster. What is it? Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve, yeah. I was going to think Christmas Eve. Yep, Christmas Eve is Saturday this year, so we do have that. I don't know. Does anyone else have any pressing Commanders topics or any questions for Benjamin? He is taking questions tonight. Please direct all your questions to him.
Dude. He's good. He's really good.
I mean, he fills up a similar space as Kevin. From a
Kevin's head's definitely bigger.
upper body / head perspective, I don't know. I mean, Benjamin's got a pretty big noggin.
Way bigger.
Kevin rocks it
Yeah.
there. You don't want to do Oklahoma against Ricka any day of the week. You're gonna fall over.
Uh-oh. See?
Sneeze, an on-air sneeze. Let me see how that looked. I got a little delay
Are
here.
you
Let's
allergic
see.
to
We're gonna
Benjamin?
break down the
Are you-
sneeze.
Are you allergic to Benjamin?
No, it's the pollen's in the air. We're on a big time delay. I haven't seen my sneeze yet. Come on, comments on the regular right now. Oh, there it is. I look up at the light, try
There
to
you go.
sneeze.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
I covered it
It's
up.
like
The
15
camera never
seconds.
saw anything. There was
It's like
no
10, 15 seconds.
uncomfortable clenching or flexing. It's all good. Okay, that portion of the show is over.
You let a little toot slip, but
So thank you once again for being with us on a Tuesday night. It is certainly our pleasure to drink whiskey and talk about the Washington Commanders. Hey,
let's talk.
We've covered a lot of ground, so now we're going to go in the other direction and talk about things that aren't new. So the idea of a schedule show. I started doing Hogs Haven in 2009 is when we got started, and so for the better part of that time frame, ever since I took that over, and before that was the Ahern Inquirer with Kevin Ewald, we would do a schedule show. So the schedule comes out.
Shout out Ewald.
Shout out Ewald. We do a schedule show right after it, just like every single person on the entire planet. It's just, I mean, not that no one's doing something original. You're just taking the schedule and talking about what the record's going to be, and you're doing it as a snap judgment. So done that for many, many years, and I thought, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's let everyone else have their take, have their piece, whatever. The news we'll get
As
some,
the editor, as the manager of Hawks Haven, you did this. You made this decision.
No, this was done in the last. Oh, for me, yes. I stopped doing a day after schedule post because my whole shtick was 10-6. Like anytime anyone ever asked me what I thought the record was gonna be, I would always say 10-6,
No matter what.
no matter what. And so I did an annual post that was like the road to 10-6, how we get there. And I wrote it for did it for a magazine for a couple years where I just basically it was like wrote out like as if the games had actually happened, in the game storylines, like all kinds of subplots and whatever, injuries, people step up, people step down, but we would magically get to 10-6. So this is kind of where I need everyone's help, and because ever since we went to 17 games, I haven't had like a go-to 10-6. Am I going 10-7 or 11-6? Like, what's the equivalent for my annual 10-6 post?
I think 10-7 gets you possibly in the playoffs.
Yeah, like 10-6.
I don't think 11-6 necessarily. It just doesn't sound as good either. 10-7.
Well, 11 wins sounds even more
I
optimistic
know, but
than
I think
10.
10-7 can get you in.
10-7
10
should get
wins
you in.
can still get you in.
I can't. There's maybe
9 is going to be hard.
I can't think of many 10
So
win
I would say
teams that didn't
10
make the
is
playoffs.
probably like the drop dead number you have to hit to possibly be in, or else you're out.
But it's not a lock.
So I think that's the over under.
Didn't Matt Castle's Patriots miss the playoffs one year with 10 or 11 wins? I think they did.
It's possible.
And that's the only one that I can remember. Correct me, board. I know you guys know the answer to this. I believe it was after Tom Brady got hurt. I think it was Matt Castle. I think they still went. I think they definitely got at least 10 wins, if not 11, and still missed the playoffs.
But an article called "How Do We Get to 10-7" sounds really sad.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, how optimistic am I being? Am I being
not.
true to the optimistic in
You're
myself?
not being Ken.
So it's got to be 11-6.
You're not being Ken.
It's got to be 11-6. Damn it. And that is not.
I definitely put my Ken rose-colored glasses on when I looked at this schedule, though.
All right. 10 yeah, I agree, Dad. I do think 10 wins makes you bubblicious. Probably on the right side, but you need a little help. But the extra playoff team, the added wild card, that's the equalizer. I think under the previous rules, 10-7 would make you bubblicious, but with the extra wild card now, I think 10 wins moves you to the inside. But 10-7 just doesn't sound like I'm hoping for a lot. 10-7 sounds like
The whole concept sucks.
Yeah.
If you're a fan, if you're hoping every year in and year out to have,
It is not.
how do you
fun.
get to 10-7?
So
Unfortunately, that's where we've been.
yes,
However, this year, I took a quick glance at this thing. I just went through it real quick. If it was at all hard, I skipped it, right? On my first shot, and I just jotted down all the teams that I thought, hey, we're better than these guys. On paper, we're better than them. 8 of our opponents. On just a quick knee-jerk run through this thing, 8. There are 8 teams on our the 2 of whom we played twice that I just think we're flat out better and should be better.
yep.
This is a very, very favorable schedule for the Washington football team this year.
And favorable to what we said last week. I think that this has got a hot start written all over it.
It does. It does.
Hot start written all. I mean, so
really
here's what we're
only,
gonna do.
really only 2 teams on the schedule that I would say really fear. I don't think there's any chance that we have any chance of really winning. There's only 2.
Well, before we, so that's an important factoid.
Just teasing it.
Just teasing it.
I'm just.
So
people
we're
don't know
gonna
which
plot
two.
the season out. I think based on what I'm hearing from you, I think we're probably gonna get to a playoff caliber record. I think we are.
I was shocked.
Yep.
I didn't even look at the wins and losses. I was just using symbols and stuff just to jot it down. Went through a second time, put it down, and all of a sudden I said, what did I come up with? I was shocked, gentlemen and ladies. Shocked at what I came up with.
You don't shock easily,
I don't.
but now you are. All right. So I also think that
I
Part
also
of the
didn't want to sound
exercise-
ridiculous, so I went through it again and confirmed it.
it's gonna sound ridiculous.
Okay.
Trust me, but
Kind of feel ridiculous because I'm sitting next to a bear. But
Well, he's been like a
that's
brother.
beside the point.
He's been like a brother to you, so you can have a little
He's
respect.
been nothing but good to me.
I like to approach my schedule. So if I'm going to predict they are a playoff caliber team based on their record, I want to have a resume when I get to the playoffs. I don't want to be the team, and we might be the team, but there's always a team or two that shows up in the playoffs in the NFL, and it's not a single gambler that's even considering putting $1 on them. They're happy to be there, and they're going to get bounced right away. So I want a resume game or two. Like, for example, last year beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, I got you. Beating the Bucs that's a resume game. I think there's one of those on here as I refill this for you.
You think there's one of those on here?
There has to be.
I don't see it.
Otherwise, what are we even doing? What are we even doing?
Okay.
All
Are we
right.
going to get to it?
All right, so
We going week to week?
we're going to go week by week. We're going to go through. If anything happens that you like, don't be
Thank you,
bashful.
sir.
Hit that thumbs up. Hopefully, we don't do anything that you dislike. All right, so without further ado, week 1, Washington Commanders at home against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh!
So I'm going to say I got this as a big win for the
It's
home
a big
team.
fat win. Are you kidding me? I mean, they don't have things together there. Peterson's got his first. It's his first. No, come on.
Now, this is
If
where I
we
can
lose
say,
this game, this whole next 40 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it's going to take,
Yep. It's not worth
is
it.
for it's
worth it.
total bullshit. If we lose that game,
We are better than the Jacksonville Jaguars on a year, whatever basis, annual, year by year. But the issue for me is it's the lackluster. Nobody gives a crap. Like they could play this game, like they should just stream it on the internet. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody wants to see this game except for us and some.
this
Jag
should be
fans.
on NFL.com.
It should be this should be like the first game they ever put on on First Amendment Sports. We should be the ones carrying this game, and it would be an honor for us.
We'll do it. Hey, NFL, we'll do it if you need us. We're
But
free that weekend, I think.
I've gotten to
maybe
the
not.
point now where
We
I
might not
know
be.
what people
We
think
might
when
not
they
be
see
free.
this. They get this is a boner killing headline of a game.
Yeah.
You're looking if you're not a Washington fan or Jacksonville fan, you're like, I wonder what's on TV.
Wow.
Oh, okay. We're gonna keep on.
It will be
moving.
a home game. It will be September 11th. There's going to be a lot of pomp and circumstance with that. It's going to be emotional and the whole deal. The opening game, it just so heavily favors Washington. It really
We should
does.
be able
No
to play
offense.
defense by week 1.
I think Trevor Lawrence someday is going to be a very good quarterback in this league. It's just not going to be on that day.
They have weapons. To me, the Jags. First of all, they've been
And we
drafting.
get to stick it in the eye, sheriff.
They've been That's right. They've been
like
drafting at the top of the NFL draft for
Are we allowed to
years.
say "F-U," sheriff?
Loaded.
Are we allowed to say that?
Of course.
Okay.
Loaded with
Sure.
talent. Loaded with talent. Like they remind me of the Cleveland Browns over the years. On paper, they have a group of players who should be able to win games. They've accumulated a lot of money, probably because they haven't been able to spend it because no one wants to freaking play in Jacksonville. But they also have a bunch of rookies, and a lot of people on rookie contracts, so they got money to spend for guys like Sheriff. They're not a good.
Jacksonville's a nice place. I don't know why everybody poops on it.
The whole is less than the sum of its parts because you don't have to pay
know.
taxes.
I don't know. I mean, I've been there a couple times. It's nice.
It's a big deal, though. No income tax. It's kind of a huge deal. That's a huge selling point.
It's Florida. It's palm trees.
Yeah, I know, but
Water.
It's like a bunch of retirees and orange people.
Whatever.
All right,
Moving
that's a W.
on.
We're 1-0. We're 1-0.
Let's go
We're
to the
going into
complete
week 2.
opposite.
On the road against the Detroit Lions. So at Detroit.
Am I the only one? And I don't know. I think Kevin may have debunked this myth of mine, but I felt like whenever we go to Detroit, no matter how bad Detroit is, we always freaking lose at Detroit.
That's
in
not the
Dome.
case. The Washington
It just feels
organization record
I
against the
know,
Detroit
I
Lions
know.
is
It's just a dreary
hugely
afternoon.
slanted.
I mean, it's nice and sunny outside, and it's going to be watching some dark game in a dome.
They brought Barry Sanders against us in the playoffs, and we made him run 500 yards from side to side, and he barely got any yards against us. We've taken on that's the team we have a warm and fuzzy about. That's the organization we went on the road and lost to them once or twice during the Snyder era, which kind of ruined the record. But historically, in our lifetime, Detroit's that team that we own, and it's no different in this game.
I don't know. I'm just dwelling, I guess, on the couple losses that we did have. The 1, 2.
So you talk about you need to get over it. I mean, for goodness sake.
They're poopy. They really do. They suck. They're, again, team 2 on the schedule to start off that I think we're better than and should beat and will beat.
I think, once again, a very uninspiring. I mean, people are like, is this still the preseason in Washington?
I think it's going to be
more.
mostly because of our defense. Our defense is going to be too good for either of those two teams to really have any effect. But no matter how good or bad our offense plays, we're going to be able to put up more points than
31-15.
Those two.
We are against Detroit.
poop sandwiches.
31-14, and I want to say it's hugely slanted over the last few years. Let me back that up with some Herman Cain stats for you guys. We've won 4 of the last 5. 4 of the last 5. That's not true. This is told from the Detroit standpoint. We've lost 4 of the last 5. There you go. There's the bad taste in your mouth right there. We won a 1916 barn burner. We've lost 37-25, 27-20, 2017, and 30-27 recently in 2020. So understandable. Understand. You got a bad taste in your mouth. That's
There's
okay.
a bad feeling about
prior to
it, but
that-
it's not going to happen this year.
Prior to that, look, I mean, we
they're
had
so
1, 2,
bad.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 straight. 19 straight. 18 or 19 straight against the Detroit Lions.
From when?
From 1973 to 1997.
To 97, but not
Yeah.
so good since.
Not so bad since. Pretty bad in the last 5. We've lost 4 of the last 5. I got this as a W. I think Jared Goff is a good quarterback. I'm thinking about drafting him in fantasy because no one else is going to want him, and I think he's going to get a ton of points. I mean, I think
Good luck.
I think it's going to be easy to get. And good, you know. He's not going to be my number 1 guy team. By the way,
Okay.
I'm not giving away any spoilers or secrets.
All right.
There's people in this league.
All right.
People in my league that are watching this.
You go with Goff.
Of course, I'm trying to give them some false information.
Go with Goff.
False information.
Yep.
We're 2-0 right now, and we're going on the road. No, I'm sorry. At home
This is home.
to the Philadelphia Eagles. First NFC week, NFC East game of the season. Home.
It'll be packed with
Philly.
Philly fans.
All right, so let me ask you.
Don't get me wrong.
There's two things
But
about
this
that
is the
team.
third team that is not as good as we are.
There's 2 scenarios with regard to who's in that stadium. If we're 2-0, home against the Eagles, there will be a lot of Eagles fans there, but that will bolster the Commanders' fan presence at that game. If we're 2-0 after just convincing
We're going
wins
to start to
against
feel
Jacksonville,
it. We're
Detroit.
going to start to feel it.
If we've lost if we lost either of those 2 games, or especially if we lose against the Detroit Lions, then yes, then that increases the Philly contingent of this game and makes it a complete unfun spot to be on week 3. That said,
We're 3-0, baby.
I got Philadelphia Eagles taking a loss this day. It's a home NFC East game.
3-0, baby.
It's the team in the NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles, that we have got to establish something over
Can
this season.
somebody please tell me why? I read a lot of articles that says that the Eagles are better than the Commanders right now on paper, but nobody explains why. I have not yet seen an argument that is in any way or shape or form convincing. And look, I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good dude. I think he works his ass off.
You know I've said
I think
he's a good quarterback in this league.
I think he's okay. He should not be dangerous or in any way, shape, or form threatening. Not for this defense. I'm sorry.
But T, all I'm saying about the Eagles, I'm not making the Eagles are better than us or blah, blah, blah. All I'm saying is right now the Cowboys are considered the class of the NFC East, and we got to go out and beat them to change that. The Giants are I think, considered the trash of the NFC East, and we got to beat them to prove that. But when it comes to separating ourselves from the upper half and the bottom half of the NFC East, then by process of elimination, that leaves us in Philadelphia. So I think we have to establish something against Philadelphia this season, and we got a chance in Week 3 to do it.
I'm making Philly cheesesteaks that day, and I'm going to house them just like the Commanders are going to house.
How do you make Philly cheesesteaks? What's your plan? Are you steakums? Are you gonna steak them it?
Steak 'em whiz with, dude.
Steakums? You buy the steakums?
Steak 'em whiz with. Well, you can actually get the Angus beef steak, like the really nice quality.
Mm-hmm.
Should chop it up.
I like to do ribeyes and then chop
It's
them
like
up.
it's like a there's Safeway has a nice little sliced ribeye,
Yeah.
like shaved. It's good. It's perfect.
A little horseradish,
Yeah.
mayo, provolone cheese.
You just go straight whiz with when you're talking about Philly.
See, I don't do whiz, and I don't do it the Philly.
You're talking
way.
about a Philly cheesesteak, dude. You go whiz with.
I'm
And
just having
shut the hell
cheesesteak.
up and don't eat anything else.
Kensington cheesesteak. I'm having a
See,
Benjamin cheesesteak.
That is steak and cheese. That is a steak.
I'll have a steak and cheese then. I don't need any whiz. I don't want any cheese whiz on my. You know what comes out?
Moving
as,
on.
It goes in as cheese
Moving
whiz.
on.
It comes out as cheese whiz. I'm not excited about that. Never been excited about that. I'm gonna avoid that at all costs.
Whiz with is so good from Pat's. I might have to get in the car and just go get one when this is done.
Week 4, we're on the road against the Dallas Cowboys. It's October 2nd. We've played 3 games in September. We dominated September. We're 3-0. People are talking about us, but are they really, T? Are people being like, hey, check out this team that beat Jacksonville, Detroit, and Philly must be terrible because they lost to them. I don't think anyone's giving us any respect at all in Week 4 on the road in Dallas.
They shouldn't.
I'm just saying.
And they shouldn't.
It's not
and
going to be fun.
I think, and I hope they don't, because this is going to be the week.
This is the resume game? This is your statement
No.
game?
This is the week we got to take the L. I think this is the week that we got to get a little humbled.
Dallas.
Yeah, at Dallas is going to be hard. You got to, fly nearly across the country.
I might be going the other way on this one. So what do we think about ourselves?
Really?
Do we think we are good enough just to beat Jacksonville, Detroit, or do we think do we have any momentum?
So this is the first game I skipped over on my first glance. I just said, I can't say that we're better than them. I can't. I really just don't think I can say we're better than they are.
I understand that, but I have us as 4-0 after this game.
I think we're going to be pretty confident. I think we're going to be pretty confident, but we're going to need a humbling.
And I think it's coming. I have my humbling coming very soon. But on the road against Dallas, I think Ron Rivera succeeds in selling his team on the fact that no one thinks you're good enough. You haven't done anything yet this year. You beat teams no one gives a crap about. No one thinks anything about you. And I think
Psycho Cybernetics is going to get this one done.
Well, I think being 3-0 and having a group of guys who's like, you know what? F that. Like, we can win football games. And, I do think our offense in week 4, assuming everyone stays healthy, I think that's when goodness will start. Because I think they're going to start slow.
I also don't think we're going to see a defense like that, though.
Well, but I'm thinking our defense will be starting faster. I'm banking on a defense that starts faster than it did last season. Last season, it didn't start.
Could be a defensive game.
Dak Prescott has been stymied by our guys. Listen, that offense is potent. It is powerful. If they ever wise up and just start giving the ball to Tony Pollard more than they give it to Ezekiel Elliott, they'll be better for it. But Jerry Jones won't do it. I think Dak can get it done. I feel like to me, this is a 3-0 team that looks in the mirror and sees a team that can win games. I think our team has been guilty of looking in the mirror, or not guilty, but I think it's been a situation where our team has looked in the mirror and saw a team that wasn't as good, and I feel like they thought less of themselves.
Agree to disagree here.
Okay. Well, I'm all right. So
Our
this
first
is where we diverge.
Disagreement.
So you guys is 3-1. So K and T. All right. So week 5, we come back feeling, in my book, really good about ourselves. 1:00 game, October 9th, hosting the Tennessee Titans. To me, that's the humbler. The home against Tennessee. I'm a believer in in Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry. I hate that they got rid of A.J. Brown, especially because they sent him to freaking Philly. And I don't think they got a rookie that's replacing him. Treylon Burks, who we loved, I know, we talked a lot about him. Big body, huge potential, but, he's talk about an nanny state. I think he got, someone glanced by him and he's out for the season. I hope that's not the case, but it sounds like that's what it might be. I think Derrick Henry is a tough ticket. I think 4-0, and I also think, for me, big 2 wins in the NFC East, Philly and Dallas, big win on the road. People are talking about us. People are like, okay, now we can say something about the Washington Commanders. They went on the road. They beat a good team in the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm not saying we get trounced by Tennessee, but I don't think like we're like with the ball in our hands, a chance to win at the end of the game.
This was my biggest waffler early on. I totally skipped it at first, came back, gave us a win at first, and then I kind of thought about it more. Look, this is a playoff caliber team. They have the best running back, who's going to have the most yards, the most carries, the most everything.
Physical defense.
He's going to be totally in stride. This is our second loss in a row, according to my philosophy.
You guys at 3-2. Yep.
This is taking the L. I had them at a win at first. It just didn't feel right. I think that this is if Tannehill doesn't poop the bed in the playoffs, they probably get at least one more game in. They're a little bit ahead of us at this point in time, but I think what it does is it toughens us up, and it prepares us for any other team that is run heavy moving forward.
I got us at 4. I got us at 4-1. I got the Titans winning. I'll share this with anyone out there who's been someone who's gone to a lot of Washington games. One of my worst memories, or one of my memories that's like very synonymous with the experience at FedEx under Snyder, was the game against Tennessee. I want to say it was 2006. I'm just like spitballing dates. I'm not exactly sure when it was. It was somewhere in the early 2000s. And we are going into the half on a roll. On a roll. We're driving. We're in the red zone. We fumble. I don't want to say maybe this could have been Spurrier. It was either 2006 randomly, no, because it wasn't Joe Gibbs. It must have been Spurrier. 2001 or 2 or whatever that was. It might have even been a truncated fumble. But all I know is for
that
sure
sounds
is
familiar.
Pete Kendall, the offensive lineman who we signed for the New York Jets, picks it up and starts trying to run. He fumbles the ball. Picked up by Tennessee. There's no time left remaining on the clock at this point in time. The first half is run out during the play. And they run it back for a touchdown. I think it was Samari Roll, the cornerback for Tennessee. Please correct me where and all the places where I'm wrong. The no time on the clock, end of period touchdowns that we've given up, and it's only been like 2 or 3, but they have been so they've left a mark on me. And the Tennessee coming to FedEx. It immediately makes me think of that, and so I got us as losing that game. Thankfully, we get a quick turnaround, load the plane, load the bus, and head off to Chicago for some. I think
this is where I think
territory.
Ron Rivera earns his stripes this year. I think that in the past 2 seasons, there's been a point early on where I think people start to doubt him, and then his professionalism, his way of his philosophy, I think really kicks in. I think this is where they start turning things around a little bit, and even with the short week, he gets them ready. This is again a team that I thought right off the bat they're not as good as we are. They're not. They're just not as good as we are.
Nope.
And it should not be a team.
I think Justin Fields is going to be just fine in this league. And Greg Martin got it right. It was a Rams game. The Rams game that Pete Kendall did the fumble. But it was also a Tennessee game, and I think the Tennessee game was 2001 where Samari roll. So that's two. Those are two touchdowns I watched with my own eyes at FedEx Field, where they scored with 0 time on the clock. Someone just had to make a tackle, and the period would have ended. We still gave up a touchdown, and we lost 19-17. For God's sake, thank you, Greg. That is exactly what happened. We lost 19. I mean, you think like shenanigans don't actually matter, but they do. Pete Kendall he was a good pro. He knew you don't catch a tip pass and try to run it. You just go to the ground and live to fight another day.
All right, so after 6, you have
5-1.
5-1, and I'm at 4-2.
Then we come home, October 23rd, Green Bay Packers, at home, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, listen, I love us. I love what we're all about. I'm going to say my prediction for this game is competitive, fun to watch.
I love it.
And
love it.
Aaron Rodgers proves why he's one of the greatest of all time.
And this is exactly what we are absolutely 100% in agreement here. They lose the game, but I think they also gain a whole lot of confidence that they can play with anybody in this league. Coming off of a short week win in Chicago, I think Ron continues to insert his professionalism, and I think they start to buy in. And even though they lose this game, they look at it as, and it's probably going to be the game of the week. I think it's going to be an awesome game. I think it's going to be fun to watch. I think this is where you're right. Aaron shows what Aaron can do, but it also shows how difficult it is against guys like Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen. They're going to pose him a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're going to come away with on that week is, yes, we lost this game. We may be pretty damn good.
We may be pretty damn good, and after 7 weeks,
we can be
ability
pretty damn good. Put it that way. I think that's where we come away with that.
So to me, I'm hoping for health. I'm hoping we haven't lost any major players at this point in time, because I agree exactly with what you're saying. If you come out of this game, you fight, because in a 17-week season, especially week 7. And if you maintain a winning record, and I got us at 5-2, you got us at what? 4-3? No, you had a win against Chicago, so you're 4-2 there.
4-3, yes. 4-3.
Yep.
You're at 5-2.
So in both cases, you're in the running. You know, you're contending for some kind of a postseason berth. And again, based on how you can't be a good team with too many games on your resume that were like feel-good losses. Like no one agrees.
This is a feel-good loss.
This is a feel-good loss, but you can't have too many of those. You need 1 or 2 of them, but otherwise.
No, I think they're going to lose the game having known they had a chance to win it against one of, if not the best team in the league.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we don't want to be the team that just has a bunch of feel-good losses, but this is a feel-good loss, and it is a situation, is a measuring stick situation.
You want a whatever you called it, game? A statement game? I think this is going to be it, and it's going to be in a.
I think it has to be a win to be a statement
I think it's going to be in a loss. I think this is going to be a measuring stick where they go, you know what?
Yep.
We can be pretty damn fucking good.
All right. Take it easy. Take it easy. Earmuffs, Benjamin.
I am on my second drink.
It's true. It's true. Kevin's missing out on
Maybe I
that.
should take a little Diet Coke.
Kevin's out on that.
Cut it a little bit.
All right, so here's where things get weird for me. We go on the road to play the Indianapolis Colts.
It gets
Super weird.
really weird for me.
Because I got to find some losses at some point in time, and I have a couple lined up.
That's strange.
But I think that this game is a weird one. It's Wentz going back to Indy. The Jim Irsay stuff is like becomes a thing and a huge story. Like he was just outspokenly against Carson Wentz as a human being. You know, in this whole
he's a weirdo.
He's a total weirdo.
He's a weirdo. I want weirdos to lose. I want weirdos to lose. I want Wentz to get his redemption. I want his teammates to back him up and say, I don't know what's going on here in Indianapolis, but this is our dude, and our dude's playing. He's playing his ass off, and we're playing for him, and this is a 100% win on my paper.
So here is I think E.O. Anderson is keeping track of bottles that are emptied on this show, which is a good stat to have. And it's in HD. There's no hiding. We don't hide. We're not here to hide. Some weird tie-ins for me personally, but like, and they kind of make sense if you like put it all together in one picture to you, right?
Maybe some more ice.
Yeah. I got you. So
I like it when it clings.
you talk about situations where you want the team.
Nice catch.
Oh, I want to see the instant replay of that. That. You can't see the below the
That was pretty sweet.
table, but that was I still got it.
You're still championing it below the table, dude.
Below
Way to
the
go.
table
Good job.
stuff is okay. Here we go. Putting it out. There's the first handful of ice. All right, so I get to do play-by-play of myself. Oh, it bounces. Oh my God, I caught it off
It
there.
was sweet. It was sweet.
Whew. You get a sense of the delay.
It was
and
sweet.
We're natural play-by-play
Right
guys.
as we hit the sweet spot of the schedule.
But okay, so here's where I'm going with this, T. Bear with me.
Yeah.
Jeff George.
Yeah.
So we bring
The
Jeff
ghost
George
of
in.
Jeff George is
The
going
ghost
to
of Jeff
fuck this whole
George.
thing up.
Well, no.
Oh.
This is what just seeps into my mentality now that
Sounds
we've
like
had
an
time to think about
episode
this.
of like Scooby Doo.
We brought him in.
Someone's wearing a mask.
We used it to justify getting rid of Brad Johnson, which
Okay.
is the dumbest thing ever. And he, with the purest arm and the greatest spiral and the awesomest
Nice
whatever,
mustache.
greatest mustache,
Yeah.
was the least inspiring teammate, apparently, one of the least inspiring teammates that this team has ever had. So much so that in Dallas, notably, he got sacked, drugged down, and then the defensive lineman then yanked him down like another 5 yards down the field, kind of violently and disrespectfully.
And not one
And not one
of the five
Washington
front men.
offensive lineman or anyone for that matter did anything about it. And it said everything about what I needed to know about where that team was and what they were all about. So, yes. And that was the Indy tie-in is obviously Jeff George because he was a former Indy guy. And I think about this. And I think about Carson Wentz going back to – because when Ron Rivera went back to Carolina, when guys go back, everyone's paid a lot of money. Everyone wants to win. Everyone's professionals. The game turns on a dime.
He didn't leave and get more money.
No. All I'm saying is guys are either in it for a guy or they're not. They're either just going to play the game because they're a professional, or there's like that little part of them that's like, man, I got this guy's back. And that happens sometimes, and it also doesn't happen sometimes. And so this is a litmus test for, is it happening with Carson Wentz with this team?
Yeah.
I
think Carson Wentz gets his redemption. This is where the league starts saying, you know what? He does still have something in the tank. He still has something to prove in this league. I think this is the week where they start really paying attention.
But are we in it for him? Because he's a weirdo too.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think this is where they prove that whole teammate bullshit.
Yep.
That was in Indiana. That's on Indiana. That's not on Wentz.
I'm hoping that I have it down. I have a 6-2.
I told you I put on your rose-colored glasses for this.
So you're 5-3. I'm 6-2. Technically, your glasses still need a little rosing up. You need to rosy them up. All right, so
we got a lot to go.
All right, so here we go. We're coming home against freaking Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm just gonna shorten this. Make mine short and sweet. We lose this game.
See, I had it as a loss.
Yeah,
I had it. I switched it. I had us winning.
So now we're even.
Because
I'm
and then I had now
6-3.
I have this winning. Yeah, F Kirk Cousins. He can't come in here. He can't come in here and leave here on top. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
This is my one.
It's not going to happen.
This is my memory train.
It's not going to happen.
Brad Johnson leaves Washington. Not only does he go to Tampa Bay and win a Super Bowl for Tampa in like very short order for Jay Gruden, but he then matriculates his way to Minnesota. Week 1, he comes in with the Minnesota Vikings, and just an absolute pillow fight ensues, and Minnesota walks out with the win. Leaving FedEx Field that night is one Bradley Johnson wearing his Washington Redskins jersey that he apparently had worn underneath his Minnesota jersey as inspiration. I don't think Kirk Cousins is Brad Johnson. I like Brad Johnson here, and I like Kirk Cousins here. So I love Brad Johnson. Every Redskins fan loves Brad Johnson. There's not a single Redskins fan I know.
I
doesn't
interviewed
love
Brad Johnson on ABC for a special before the Sunday night thing.
That was the game.
Yeah.
That was that game. I was at that game, obviously.
I had a one-on-one interview with
And it wasn't like he
Rennie
destroyed
Knott,
us.
Rennie Knott called me up and says, "Hey, do you want to do an interview?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to. I want to do Brad Johnson."
You know what
He
happened?
says, "Of course."
His teammates balled out for him because they,
Yeah, they did.
effing loved him.
That's what the interview was about.
Yes.
How did you win this locker room over? And he was very humble about it.
Yes, he was very humble about it, and he did win that locker room over. So I don't think that's a Kirk Cousins situation at all. I think Minnesota is talented. I love Justin Jefferson. I think he's great. Dalvin Cook is obviously a talent. They have offensive linemen. They have defensive linemen. They have players. I think Minnesota is a Super Bowl contender out of the NFC this year. I do. I think they are.
F him.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I don't think
Win
it's
number
because-
2 in a row.
All right, so we're both at 6-3, by the way. Week 10. So we're on the road at Philly, and listen, as much as I love the idea of sweeping NFC East opponents, and I do, we sweep this NFC East opponent.
Hey,
Come on!
let's do this. I got it down as a sweep myself, my brother.
It is a clean sweep against the Philadelphia Eagles, and I want to say this: at this point of the season, we're both 7-3. We're both.
And I have 3 wins in a row.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I took the loss against Minnesota. I want to say that I think that this is when, because I think Philadelphia is out there doing some things. Their schedule is a little different than ours. I think they're
They
getting some
suck.
wins. So I don't think they suck. I don't.
All right, I think they suck.
I don't want to be right about saying Philadelphia doesn't suck, but I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
well,
think
I'm
they
going to
suck.
say they suck. So
I want to be wrong. I think this win. The
I don't want to be wrong.
who's out there that knows all of the flexing rules? Because I think the network is allowed to start flexing. Oh, I know you know all about the flexing rules. That Penn State.
I didn't know there were rules on flexing.
Yeah,
they
you break all the rules.
If you could flex it, flex it.
Look at this guy. You talk about hard as a rock. This guy right here,
Ooh.
he is made of stone.
Puts us all to shame.
He's been doing that for 5 years. I think that the Eagles sweep is a putting you on the map moment. I do think it's a resume win, not because of how great Philadelphia is, but because that I do think that they
are now a force to be reckoned with.
Well, I think they're a contender. They're a playoff contender. The Eagles are a playoff contender. The NFC East, I think it's going to have 3 playoff teams this year. I think it's going to be the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. I believe that.
Okay.
I believe that. But we're 7-3. We swept them. We're going to Week 11. Coming off a big win on the road in the division, and now we go on the road for the Houston Texans. Now, this is a classic trap game.
What?
Because of course you should win. Basically, we're
You're
on the road.
Shocked. This is your shell shock setting.
Oh
it.
no.
Yeah,
We're winning this game.
This is your. Oh.
Oh, we're winning. I mean, they're terrible.
Maybe you're over your shell shock.
No, we're winning the game because the Houston Texans are terrible. But this is a classic game that the Dan Snyder-led organization would routinely.
Dan doesn't lead it
Well, he doesn't lead it now,
anymore.
but he set the tone for 20 years, and we would routinely go on the road to
This
terrible
is why we're gonna win.
because it's all Tanya. Tanya's got the magic touch. Of course, it'll be a new owner by then, obviously, so don't even worry about that. All right, so we beat Houston. We're 8-3. We're 8-3, right? I mean, you're not.
4th win in a row.
And come home for the Atlanta Falcons. Now,
Who are poopy?
a big ATL welcome to Brian Griffin, who's in town with the Atlanta Falcons. He's the director of coaching operations there.
We're gonna have him on that week.
I hope so. I mean, it's doubtful, but I talked to him last week.
He can't carve out 5 minutes.
I called him on Thursday. He said. So anyways, our friend Brian Griffin, he's the director of coaching operations for Atlanta, and he's done well for himself, and he works for the owner, and he does a good job. He knows everything about everything. And I call him. I literally call him when I have like ideas about stuff. I'm like, hey, Griff, can you tell me like, what should I do? I mean, gotta ask a guy like that. He's coming to town. They lost their 80-year-old quarterback. He's now playing for Indianapolis. We didn't even talk about.
That's a mean way to put it.
Well, because they were committed.
Matt Ryan never did anything to you.
Matt Ryan is geriatric, and he's still in the league, and I respect that. He's making $1 billion. He's, by the way, we're playing. We already said we're going to beat him.
He would beat you in a foot race.
No chance. No chance would he beat me in a foot race.
What?
Matt Ryan?
Yes.
First of all, I'm
Matt Ryan. You're being put on.
There's no way in the world Matt Ryan
now
beats me in a foot race.
Ken Marangolo thinks he could beat you in a foot race.
So I know Matt Ryan's a good athlete, and he always has been, and he's better, is 20 billion times a better athlete than I am. He's been beaten to a pulp by 300-pounders for 20 years. He doesn't have that speed anymore. There's no way Matt Ryan. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys.
You don't have your speed anymore.
No, I still got it.
I forgot about that. Oh,
I still got it.
okay.
God, I can't believe. I don't know how I was gonna. He's almost as immobile as Carson Wentz. That is a fair, accurate statement. I'm beating Matt Ryan in a foot race, and it's not even close.
Are the Commanders beating Atlanta that day?
Are the Commanders beating Atlanta that day? Anyone? Bueller?
Because I have it as the 5th win in a row.
Yeah, we're 9-3 after that week. So 9-3, going into week 13. You might think this is a rosy scenario. Hey, listen, we're just calling it like we see it, okay? This is unbiased, completely, no agenda. We have 9 wins and 3 losses. And unfortunately for the New York Giants, who by that point in time are...
They may be forfeiting games at that point in the season.
They might not even be showing up.
That's what I mean. Hey, yeah, we're not gonna waste anybody else's time.
It would be cheaper for them to be like, you know what? We're not gonna. No gate. No one's coming in the stadium.
Gas costs.
We just gave all the hot dogs out to the local community, and we're calling it a loss. It's really bad that this week on Thank God It's Tuesday, Matty Ice gets challenged. Robert Cohen, you are correct. I mean,
this is a real challenge.
I would love to.
Matty Ice, if you're out there and you get this,
I do want that smoke.
Challenge to a foot race.
I do want that
by
smoke.
Ken Marangolo.
Ken Ricca?
No. You've been challenged to a foot race with Ken Marangolo by a quadriplegic, so you can't turn it down. You have to do it.
That's a rule. I forgot about that.
Yes, it is. It's a rule of the universe.
Holy crap! When he finds out about this,
I have told you you must run against him.
He can't Seinfeld it. He can't choose not to run.
No, if he says no, he's a dick.
What? And that's the last thing he wants to be.
So it's real.
All right, so I guess I'm in training. And there's no way. Now, so technically, you challenged him.
Oh, I know. This is totally my challenge. Yeah. Because I don't think you can do it.
Zero chance I lose a foot race.
All right.
Matt Ryan. I might, by the way,
official.
after that race, I might get an offer from a team.
The challenge is official. That's for sure.
Someone who runs away
I don't know if
from
anybody else is going to take it as official as we do.
Or some kind of a Matt Ryan equivalent. I don't know. Throw it out there. It's like Brandon Anderson. Any other like 43 to 47-year-old quarterback who may still be out there. All right, who is the guy who got into the league when he was like 26 years old? The Florida State kid, the Florida State man.
Yeah.
He played, but he was great in college because he was 10 years older than everybody.
Wanky.
Yes, Wanky. If Wanky is,
Spanky, my Wanky.
I would run against Wanky as well.
Wanky.
Although I think Wanky might have a chance.
Wanky can kick your ass
Wanky,
right now, too.
Wanky might already have you beat. That's fair.
All right. Well, the
Let's
challenge
stick to
goes
Matt
to
Ryan.
Wanky too.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah.
If Matt can't make it,
I gotta go.
Wanky,
I need
you
a
can't
trainer.
back out.
I'm afraid of Wanky. just because he's like that guy when you play Madden and they try to record stuff that they can play for certain quarterbacks. He only has like two pre-record. Like when Brad Johnson. So when you play Brad Johnson on Madden, I'll never forget it. You'd always play Redskins, obviously, and you'd run Brad Johnson, and I would always slide to keep him safe so he would get back into the huddle. And John Madden pre-recorded would say, "Well, Brad Johnson was an athlete from Florida State, played basketball at Florida State," and I heard that 1 trillion times while playing that Madden game with Brad Johnson as my quarterback. I can only imagine with Chris Wenke, they're saying that, that guy's an athlete. That guy can run. Probably faster than me. We beat New York Giants on the road. We're 10-3, correct?
6th win in a row.
Week 14, coming down
We
the
win
home
that week.
stretch.
We
all
win
right,
that week.
we're going to a bye, all right?
No, we win. You always win a bye week.
We win the bye week.
Not official. It's not
Well,
official win.
We win off the field for the first time in 15 weeks.
Wise get us back for the first time in 13 weeks.
All right, so this is where things get tough for me because I'm not trying to go to a dark place, but I think that the season starts to I think we start to regress to the mean just a little bit. I think that we hit a little bit of a wall, but not in week 15 against the New York Giants at home because we're 11-3 after that week. In 8 quarters against the New York Giants, I think we get loose. I mean, I think it gets
I have us winning 7
Silly.
in a row.
silly.
I have us winning 7 in a row.
I hope this season never ends. I hope this bottle of whiskey never ends. This is the greatest season that I've ever been a part of in Washington Redskins football team Commanders history. At 11-3, we're I'm thinking we're resting starters. I'm signing guys off the street to take the rock and save Antonio Gibson for the playoffs. At 11-3, you're like, what's the Commanders' equivalent of the Super Bowl shuffle? You're starting to think about these things, and then week 16 comes and it's at San Francisco. Now, I got a lot of respect for Trent Williams. And Trey Lance, I think, is a good quarterback. I think they always have a multi-headed running back monster that's great. Deebo Samuel is worth the price of admission every single time he's on the field. I hope he's healthy in this game because I want to watch him play football for an entire season. Their defense is athletic, and they hit.
Yeah.
This is a tough one.
And
And
I think Chris Kringle's a little bit kinder to San Francisco.
it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We're all gathered with our families. Our 11-3 Commanders are playing on the
We're
road.
just thankful to be at that point in the season, to be at 11-3, I think. I think we're just, we kind of we take his teachings and say we're grateful for what you have.
It puts
Don't be too
a
greedy.
damper on it for me, obviously.
Don't be too greedy. It's going to be a tough, yeah.
It's a
But
4:05
but it's
p.m.
Christmas Eve. You get to get really drunk
It's
and
true.
forget about it.
It changes your whole mass
And then
choice.
watch Wonderful Life
Do you still go to Christmas
till
Eve
like
mass?
3 in the morning.
I don't think you can. I don't think
Yeah,
you do.
of course.
You got to wake up and go to Christmas morning mass now.
No. You always have to go to.
Is there a mass
time's it? What
before
time?
4? Do
Whoa,
they have
what
like a
time's
2
it?
o'clock?
Oh shit! It's at 4
It's
o'clock.
a 4 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh,
This is a thing. For all my.
I might have to stream it. Is 1AS going to be at? Are they going to be streaming that one?
We're in San Francisco.
Are you going to be streaming Mass?
Mass has streamed.
I think
Holy Redeemer streams it now.
I think we should just watch the stream that day.
I don't know that I don't know.
You
that
could put one on one of those TVs.
I don't know that the dispensation, the archdiocese dispensation,
Yeah.
is there.
Yeah. No.
It is.
They think that's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
I know Greg. He's like, when did they start having Christmas Eve masses before midnight? Dude, literally, we don't live in 1916. Like, it's not pre-World War II times. Like,
You might have. You might have to just bite the bullet and go to midnight mass.
Who has more sweater vests, you or Greg? I think that's got to be the
I
question.
threw all mine out.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't watched. We haven't seen
Rick
him wear
made
one.
me.
Benjamin did
He
make.
made-
All right, so that
no,
means Greg
well,
has more
yeah.
sweater vests than you.
Benjamin backed up Rick on this thing.
He's usually right.
I kept 2
All right.
for sentimental reasons. One was the Gary Williams show.
I want to wear one of
Vest
them.
that I wore, and the other one
ASAP.
was the Maryland Radio Network.
Yeah.
I just kept those for
Those are
nostalgia.
Those are uniforms.
Yeah, it was nostalgia. But
All
I
right,
have.
so
I,
we're gonna
I do,
have to.
Other than those two, I do not own another sweater vest.
I think a Christmas Eve party that starts at 4:00 is one of the greatest ideas in the history of Christmas. We got to figure out where to get masks in. If there's any way to get it in beforehand, that'd be great. Otherwise, you know what? You got to suck it up and go on Christmas Day. Got to do it.
Before presents?
Okay, timeout on the draft. Timeout on the draft. This is an important question.
What?
Now, I know that everyone on this board is
What,
Catholic.
what are you doing here?
I know not everyone on this board, but because there's a big question. Before or
Yeah.
after presents? How old? But you have young kids.
For the record, I'm streaming simultaneously, but go ahead.
I think you got to If you have young kids, you got to do presents first. You got to do presents first. They wake up, you will go downstairs. It's the magic of Christmas. Santa Claus has been there.
That is
Presents have been delivered.
that is your thanks back, guys. We got to go to mass.
Yeah, exactly. After you
Done.
open presents, you go to church.
Soft.
Okay, untime out. All right. All right. So are we 11-4
I
after
have
this
7
game?
wins in a row, and then we lose. Yeah,
To the 49ers
yeah,
on
we
Christmas
lose.
Eve. It's not great.
a
It's not a
loss.
Christmas miracle. And we come home and we play Cleveland Browns. I got to tell you, I got money on the Cleveland Browns getting far in the postseason this year.
Yeah,
Starting right this very second.
this didn't have a good feeling off the bat.
I think Deshaun Watson, I thought he was. I was hoping we would catch Cleveland in the first week or two when he might be serving a suspension of some kind, which is inevitable. He might actually lose the season, to be fair. We might be playing Jacoby Brissett because he will have lost the
That
whole
could
season.
change things.
He settled today with 20 women. 4 still outstanding. Deshaun Watson settled 20 of the cases today. No idea what it is. Over under $500K per woman.
He settled for being kinky as shit.
Over under $500K per woman
Oh, I
settlement.
have no idea.
I'm just I created that out of my head.
Under.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's 4 outstanding. Kinky as shit is right. Well, and I don't know. Just-
Dude likes to do weird shit.
Listen, Benjamin disagrees with you on that. You don't.
All right.
By the way, you don't want to know where the honey hand has been. He's holding this honey
Oh,
glass
he's
right
gotten.
now.
Oh, he's gotten freaky.
First of all, there's non-disclosure agreements.
Ben,
You've signed them. You know what they are.
didn't know that about you, dude.
We've all signed the NDAs
All right.
that Benjamin.
We gotta have a little talk later.
11-5 against Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. We've been feeling super good about ourselves, and getting to 11 wins after the bye was instrumental because Dallas at home. And here's what I'm gonna say about that: if we're 11-5 going into the final week of the season against the Dallas Cowboys at home, there's a postseason feel to it. Only because the Dallas Cowboys should also have roughly the same amount of wins. Now, if
I think they're resting people. I think that
we could be resting
they're
people as
they're
well.
comfortably in the, but I don't think we do. I think Ron Rivera looks at this as coming off 2 losses. We got to have a tune-up. We got to be sharp. We got to be ready to go. I think this is a win simply because it doesn't matter to Dallas at that point.
But so here's what I say to
But
that
we
team.
use it as a tune-up.
We have 11 wins. We're making the playoffs. But I think the NFC East is up for grabs in this week. The Cowboys play the Bucks, the Bengals, the Rams. Those are 3 teams that we don't play, that they play. They're going to have a couple losses that we won't have because of that. They also play, obviously they play Green Bay, which is a big one. But the Bucks, the Bengals, and the Rams, 3 teams that they play that we don't, and those are going to be
tough.
It's Tom Brady in week 1, so he's
are
fully
tough.
healthy. It's Bengals in week 2. That's a Super Bowl team 2 weeks after 2 weeks into the season, and the Rams in week 5. So that's going to be that's 3 of the best teams in the league conceivably in the first 5 weeks.
You want to catch them early. All 5 of them. I mean,
Yeah.
all 3 of them. You want to catch early. I think they're going to catch them early. I think they come out of that 2-1.
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
Okay. But so I think the Cowboys are going to need this win more than we will. If we're saying we have 11 wins, I think the Cowboys come in with like 10. You might find yourself. So T. If that's the case, let's think this through. Let's game it all the way through. If we have 11 wins and they have 10, if they win and we tie with 11 wins, we already have us winning on the road, and I have us winning on the road in Dallas in week 4. You don't. So you have that week 18 game at home against Dallas. If they win, that flips the NFC East. On my schedule, since I have us winning that game, I have the week 18 Dallas game as having, the outcome doesn't necessarily, the outcome would split if we lose, and it would come down to tiebreakers. And Rhett
Now you
Donnelly.
fucking
And
show
Rhett
up.
Donnelly has stepped into the house. All right. I'm going to say, this gets me to 11-6. I'm taking a loss.
I have this at 12-5.
What?
I told you it was nuts.
12-5. Is Joe Jackson Gibbs coaching this team?
I think it's a very
Is Bobby
favorable
Beathard?
schedule. I think we win all of the games that we should win for the first time in a very long time.
Holy crap. Well, I will say, as a rosy glasses wearing person,
12-5, Rhett. That's where we got
12-5, 11-6. After working our way through the entire season, we got some under. We got Rhett putting. He's literally taking all the cash he
I
has
think
on
he
him.
disagrees with both of us.
Right there, the outlet. The outlet's wearing cologne.
Smells like
We're
like
trying to-
Abercrombie
we're
and Fitch
trying
Woods,
to-
does it not?
Have a little bit of
Smells like a guy I want to be with.
smells like a guy you want to be with. So we have a air freshener. It's Chris Morning Air from Bath and Body Works.
It
and
smells like Woods from Abercrombie
It is
and
better
Fitch.
than ass, which in July and August, in the heat of the summer, this basement can get a little bit of a rancor we're trying to avoid. 11-6, 12-5. Both of those teams make the playoffs. Both of those teams have resume wins.
What does the board think? Who's closer? Who's more realistic? Who needs another drink and needs to stop drinking, based on our
I'm out of drink.
assessment?
E.O. Anderson's got us pegged. We're sitting on empty here. That's a splasher right there. That's all that is.
Topper.
That's a topper. That gets us to where we need to be. And I also think that is a better than snap judgment look. And it also backs up what we've been saying before, which is this team has a veteran
We gotta
quarterback,
get better. Yes.
skilled players, talented defense. Did they put it together last season? No. Especially on defense? No. But there's no Jacksonville, Detroit, Philly, Dallas, Tennessee, Chicago out of the gate. I mean, those are winnable games. And of course, Detroit could be better. Of course, Chicago could be better. Of course, some of these games could be tighter than what we're looking at. But if you think about it, like that is not an overly homeristic expectation.
No, I don't think so.
Of course, we don't think so. But
What is this 10-7 crap you were talking
Just
about
go.
earlier?
10
Let's get to 10-7. We both just we both
Never
just
again.
legitimately came over.
Never again.
We're over 10-7.
We're over 10-7, and you got to be over 10-7.
We're over 10-7 now, guys.
How many games does Sam Howell start? Greg says the A team says 0. Rhett, how many games does Sam Howell start this season?
Do we want to win?
It doesn't matter. It's a neutral
0.
How many does he
Wentz
start?
is-
Under 0.5 because we don't want to win.
Wentz
Well, no,
wins.
it's-
Wentz wins comeback
It
player
has
of
to
the
do with
year.
injuries and all that kind of
Oh
stuff
no,
too.
he's not eligible for comeback player of the year. But
Wentz
in my opinion, he wins comeback player of the year. I think this is
And-
people go, you know what?
come back from being smeared by an NFL owner.
Yes.
Come back from losing.
By a
Come back from
douchebag
losing.
NFL owner.
Come back from losing to the Jags in the last week of the season last year when you had the playoffs were on the line.
5-1. Oh no, 1-5.
1-5.
He asked what was our record against Detroit in the last 6 games.
Yeah, 1-5. We're 31-15 overall. In your lifetime, since you're slightly younger than us, you've experienced not quite the same. From 1973 to 1997, we won 19 straight. It was a great feeling. As a kid and young adult, you saw Detroit on the schedule, and you felt great because you had never lost to them, including in the playoffs.
1-5.
1-5 against who?
Detroit.
No, 1-4. 1-4. No, I don't want to hear about your 1-5. We've lost 4 of the last 5. That's good enough. It's good enough for the naysayers. Benjamin, listen, take it up with Benjamin, okay? And he's had a lot to say tonight. And his mic, he muted me early. We took care of it. Appreciate everybody giving us a little time on Tuesday to work through this schedule. I think we got it. Tom Marangolo's got us going to the NFC Championship. What do you
Does he have your glasses?
got? He invented those glasses.
I think he did.
He handed those glasses down.
I think you're right.
They came
I think
down.
you're right. I think you're right. Tom, you're a good man. I hope you're right.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right.
Week 6. By the way, we always circle something on the calendar where we hope to have a.
Well, I thought we were going to have our draft of the games we want to go to.
We wanna have
but,
draft of games
You
we
can't
go
really
to.
have a 2-man draft.
Can we get Rhett, will you join this draft? All right. So stay there. And stay there. We'll get your picks. All right. So Rhett's here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to draft the games we want to go to. It is a 3-round draft. 9 games will be chosen. 4-round draft. 12 games will be chosen. An additional round on the board. From a
You pulling it up?
comment, the last 4 comments, the A-Team, Manner of Speaking, Tom Marangolo, and Greg Martin. You're the last 4 commenters on the show tonight. Therefore, you will draft 4 of the remaining games. We'll tell you what they are when it's your turn. It will go in that order. The A-Team, Manner of Speaking, Tom Marangolo, Greg Martin. You don't have to pick anything. You get the last game available. All right, so
Unless he disagrees and chooses another game.
No, there's 17 games. So he has 1 of 2. 1 of 2. Sorry, Greg, you got 1 of 2.
Here we go. Where are we
All
going?
right,
What's the
so
order?
let me draw it up here. I'm gonna I'm gonna let T go first.
Ooh.
I know it's questionable. Then I'm gonna let Rhett go second. Ken will go third. Okay. We're going to just do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going to snake it. T, first game you would like to attend.
Yes, I want to attend a win.
Yep.
That's important.
Now we
You
know
wanna-
what all the wins
You
and
want to
losses
attend
are
to win
right here.
And you know what? I'm a football purist. I love the game. The game
Keep talking.
is bigger than any one person. The game is bigger than any one team. The game is just, it means a lot to me on so many levels. So I want to go to a place. I could give 2 craps about FedEx Field. So I want to go check out Soldiers Field, Chicago Bears.
Week 6, Chicago.
Week 6, October 13th, 8:15 game. I think that would be an awesome experience.
On Mel Kiper's best available before the draft started, week 6, I think at Chicago was up there. By the way, EO, we're going with a 15, Redbreast 15. Greg, are you really going to that one? Because I'm really wanting to try to go to that one myself. And I would love to see Rhett be in charge of planning that because he failed so mightily.
How awesome are games in
with
Chicago?
the Vegas deal last year.
Night games in Chicago, little cold, brisk breeze in the air, little nip in October.
First of all,
Fucking
stop being all about nips. It's October 13th. It's an 8:15 start, right? So it is going to be a little
Brisk.
nipply, a little brisk. But listen,
It's football at its purest.
Let me ask, who of the people on the board who have been or want to go to Chicago, what is the best pizza place of the many pizza places?
Do not say Uno's.
First of all, it's not Uno's. It's Uno. You know why it's Uno? Because it's the one. It's the first one. It's the one all the others are based off of.
I was saying it in the like the possessive.
You know what's across the street from Uno in
Uno's
Chicago?
restaurants. Like it's like don't say Uno's. Like
I know,
Uno's
but all
restaurants.
those other that's
was
a chain
possessive.
based
It was
off like
not-
an original.
It was not. I wasn't. I understand it's Uno.
But you know what's across the street from Uno in Chicago? Douai. 2. The second one.
Touche.
You can't get into the first one. You go to the second one. It's the same one. It's so great. They built 2 right across the street from each other. I've only been to Douai. I've never been to Uno. I've been to Douai.
Wow. There you go.
But the Giordano's is the answer. And Greg got it right. All right. So T week 6 at Chicago, round 1 overall top pick taken. All right, Rhett, where are you going? I know I have
I'm
2.
going Indy.
You're going on the road at Indy. So
Yeah,
right
it's
off.
the Carson Wentz revenge game.
Yeah, you missed the discussion about it. So it's it's more right just because you weren't here. We said this was the game where we find out if our guys are in the tank with Carson or not. Are they playing for him? Are they fighting for him? We're gonna find out.
Well, did you hear what? Who's the wide receiver for Indy? Who said?
T.Y. Hilton,
Well, no, the other guy.
the
rookie.
Pittman.
Yeah, Pittman, who said?
They've got a receiver named
Who had
Strachan,
1,000
too, by
yards?
the way.
Yeah, but he said like I love Matt Ryan because he is as accurate as Phillip Rivers, Andrew Luck.
I didn't say Carson Wentz.
No, didn't say
Well, Carson Wentz also
Didn't say Carson
isn't the
Wentz.
most accurate, but that's okay.
That's fine.
That's
fine,
okay.
but I think he's gonna be fired up, and that would be a game.
He's just a kid. He doesn't know what
I'm
he's talking about.
fired up. So the thing is, Indianapolis is like an okay city.
Well, I've never been there.
It's okay. It's okay.
To be honest with you, I'm
Eh.
looking at all the cities that
It's a
we
cool
played in.
stadium.
I'm not going to Detroit.
It's a
I'm
cool
not going-
stadium.
I'm
It's
not
cool
going-
stadium. Cool stadium.
Yeah, but I'm not going to Detroit. I'm not going to Philly.
Indianapolis
Dallas.
isn't as Ken says blowing your skirt up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
That's
going
right.
to Houston.
Yeah. No, it's not.
I mean,
I hate
there's
that phrase, by the way.
Wait,
San
don't
Francisco,
listen. Just make your pick. I don't need to hear
I-
about
I
all the
said
places.
Indy. I said Indy because I want to wear a Carson Wentz jersey, and I want Carson Wentz to throw for 404 touchdowns, as Indy goes 1-4 or whatever.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It also
It takes Indy.
seems unfair to the law of nature that FedEx Field, one of the worst places in the entire league, gets 9 home games versus 8 away games. Like you think they would jigger that away from us. We just lost the World Cup. By the way, the World Cup in 100 years.
All right. Who busted ass? Was that
That was Benjamin. That was Benjamin or Rhett.
somebody did?
Benjamin or Rhett.
And I might have to take a time out. Oh my God.
Rick
Whoa.
is not here, but he's here. We just lost the World Cup. In 100 years, only like twice has the
Continue.
host country not had a game in the capital city. And it is, by the way, I'm not getting what you're getting. So I don't know what's going on over there. Maybe there's something going on outside.
Awful. There's a gas leak.
This has
or
got
something.
a smelt it, dealt it scenario written all over
I don't.
it.
Stuff like that doesn't come out of my ass.
First
Sorry.
first of all, as a
It smells like a golf fart.
as a first-hand witness,
Is that a golf fart?
hey,
That's a
Seriously.
golf fart.
T,
It's
John
golf-
Riggins at the Knights of
That's
Columbus.
that's a total golf
It
fart.
wasn't worse.
That I shit myself. I didn't shit myself.
was,
I
but
shit
it was
myself
way
that day.
worse.
No, but shitting yourself is different than a smell coming out of your
I had
ass.
to, I was
That
like,
was awful.
green.
That smelled like something died.
it was a while before my blood regulated after that one. All right, we get any. The NFL has aired. All right, so here's the deal. I do want to go on the road, and I do want to see a game on the road, but I'm not going on the road for Christmas Eve. I would love to go to San Francisco. I would love to see the town, but it's Christmas. I'm home for Christmas.
Okay.
There's a whole song about it. I'm not going to San Francisco for the Christmas
Okay.
game. So you know what? I'm going to. I also want to be in town for a win. And as I always tell all of my friends and all the people who wear green for Philadelphia Eagles games at FedEx Field, in games where we beat them, I always say, thanks for coming. I'm so glad you got to see this game. So glad you got to see this game. Week 3, 3-0 against the Philadelphia Eagles. We got this one. That's me. And I'm going to snake it. After getting a chance to watch my team win at home.
Wait, who'd you take?
Week 3, Eagles. You got that as a win?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Listen. I do enjoy a good NFC East whooping. I'm gonna come back here week 15 after the bye and celebrate. Now, so but again, it's December 18th. So it's
Why does it say December 17th or 18th?
Oh, because they can flex it. The flexing rules this year are stupid. They can change things on a dime, which is crazy. Because I mean, I used to have to submit my PTO time into work. I always just took time off around games, and when they would flex stuff, I'd be like, "Oh, you're killing me." I mean, I already took this day off. I took that day off. We're gonna watch the New York Giants lose in dramatic fashion. That's gonna be my Christmas holiday, feel good tailgate of the year, December 18th. Week, what is that? Week 15. So I'm taking 2 NFC East home games. That's what I do. Rhett, round 2. Who you got?
So, I want Tennessee. I think that would be a fun. It's gonna be a really fun game.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Arrested Development.
I
Tennessee.
think that's gonna be a really
Tennessee.
Take me to another
Hold
place.
on.
I-
Really
honestly,
been
I don't believe
distressed.
Tennessee has
Down
it.
and out.
I don't
Let
believe
me
Ryan
forget all that
Tannehill.
hurts me.
Okay, I believe in.
We're losing that game. We both have that as a loss.
Okay, well, you know what? Sometimes teams surprise you. I don't believe in Tennessee. I don't think that they're actually.
He
a
doesn't believe in
legitimate-
Tennessee. Sorry to all our Tennesseans, but
Yeah,
Rhett,
for-
I don't,
Rhett,
I
Rhett
don't
doesn't.
believe in them.
Rhett does not believe in
I
you.
think that we can actually come out.
Rhett thinks you
and
could do better.
smoke them.
Okay.
To be
And
honest.
I don't think it's gonna be close. I think we actually can win that game by
Okay.
at least 17 points.
Got it.
I know. Listen. It may sound crazy.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
Okay. I don't believe in them.
Can you guys hear Rhett? I can hear Rhett really good. I think you're getting picked up by the mics.
I'm kind of, yeah,
Yeah.
They
worried
lost
about
AJ
it,
Brown.
but I think he knows.
Yeah, they lost AJ Brown, and the Treylon Burks is not coming to replace him anytime soon because of his insane ability to stay off the field.
I actually believe that our defensive line
Alright.
is going to be better than they were last year.
He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't take anything I wanted, which is good.
And once that's established, I don't believe in Ryan Tannehill one bit. So I think that we would actually smoke Tennessee, and that's going to be the biggest upset of what is it?
It's week 5.
Week 5. Yeah, I think that's the game that all of a sudden all the pundits say maybe Washington is for it's for.
Oh, we talked about this, and that was not what we said. T, snake it.
They go 4-1. 4-1. They beat Tennessee.
All right, hush.
They're 4-1.
I gotta say, by
Keep
the way,
your mouth
I have
and your butt
yeah.
shut.
By the way, that was that was happy hour for all the way. Also, I also have us at 4-1 after Tennessee,
4-1.
All right.
but it's a loss against
So-
Tennessee.
I understand you. You're a great family man. You know, you probably
Thank
go above and beyond on Christmas Eve, and
Yep.
days before that. I've made it known on this show. I cannot stand Christmas. I hate Christmas. We have
No, the
my
A
wife-
team on
my
week
wife and I-
15 at home for the Giants.
my wife and
I
I
got that wrong.
have visited
Week
the
13
San
is
Francisco
at-
Bay Area 3 times in our married life. One was our honeymoon. 2 others were for Maryland Bowl games. We have an affinity for San Francisco. I would love to break tradition and take my wife out to California for that San Francisco Christmas Eve game. Even though it's going to be a loss, it would be for the good cause.
Where are you going?
San Francisco.
You're going week 16
For personal reasons.
at San Francisco. Means we don't get to hang out for Christmas.
No,
It
that's
makes
okay.
me upset.
No,
I hate
you know,
that. Snake it
I
back.
hate Christmas.
You got 2.
So, my second,
Ooh, bah humbug, unbelievable. You bah humbugged us
I did. I
in
hate it.
June.
Do I get another pick after this?
This is your other pick after this.
No, this is my last pick.
No. You have one more.
I have one more after this.
Yep.
Well, I'm actually going to take then, because it's going to be off the board by the time I get back, the last game of the season, Dallas, because
At home against Dallas.
I actually think you have now convinced me that game's going to mean something.
It will
It's
mean
going to mean
something.
playoff contention, if not in or out, then some sort of seed.
Week 18,
I think
home against
it
the
has
Cowboys.
meaning. It's home.
I mean, I'll be honest, T.
I got it.
I think that game will be built up in a almost in a way that it can't possibly measure
Live
up
up
to.
to?
Yeah. Unfortunately for you know what it makes me think of? I try to put a memory to all these scenarios. The RG3 game, you know, the January whatever, you know, first or second game. I forget what night it was. I think it was January 1st. At home on the frozen tundra of FedEx's terrible, ridiculously bad field. We played Dallas. Alfred Morris balled out. I think he had 3 touchdowns. RG3 did enough, and we won, and that was a big deal. And I think that's what this game gets billed as.
I have it as a win.
You have it as a win.
I have it as a win that's going to be meaningful now.
Yep. Rhett, you get to come back with one. What do you got?
You know what? I actually don't think that the Dallas game is going to mean much.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Because
What I got out of that is that
Cleveland-
Rhett does not think.
Cleveland is coming in the week before. Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended for the entire year.
Okay, is it the entire year? Because
and
that's what we were debating.
I bet you have a dual massage appointment
This has-
set up for the
this has
day,
Nothing to do with me.
the day before.
This has nothing to do with my preferences.
Okay. Fair enough.
Hands on my
No
body.
judgment.
It
There's
has
a
nothing-
judgment.
I think it
free
does.
zone.
I think this has a personal hit for you.
prefer-
So
I think
you're
this
going to
has
the
a-
Cleveland game in Week
I'm
17.
going Cleveland, and I think that's going to be
no,
the
this
game
is-
that solidifies
Hey,
Washington going to the playoffs.
your
Yeesh.
personal choice is your choice.
Sure.
You do in your off time what you want to do.
But
Why
you,
do you keep bringing that up? I get it,
it's
man.
true. It is true. You're judging. You're being very judgy.
Hands on my body. That's
He
fine.
likes the physical contact. But Rhett, I think we can.
know it's
I
not
think
like physical
we could qualify for the playoffs that week with a win or a loss because I have us have 11 wins after that week.
Well, that's
Insane. I mean,
not insane. That is a great pick.
yes,
I
yes.
think Cleveland. So the San Francisco game, you know, that I chalked that up as a loss. But Cleveland, I think
Yep.
Baker Mayfield is going to be the quarterback. He is going to be absolutely not interested in leading that team to a victory. I think that's the game that we said.
Baker Mayfield, you think stays in Cleveland?
Yeah,
Oh God, that's going to be miserable to watch.
yeah, that's why I'm excited about it. Week 17, he's coming and going, oh God,
Uh-oh.
I hate being the quarterback of this team. All I am here, for is for Deshaun
Uh-oh.
Watson to eventually take over.
I'm going for number 3.
All right,
We're gonna
I
win
got
that
you.
game, and that's gonna be a fun game because that's gonna send us to the playoffs.
All right, so I get to snake this, and I'm not a guy who wants to go and watch losses at all. But I am a guy who wants to go and watch good football games.
You're a dick. You're gonna take my game.
I'm going Week 7.
I know it.
I'm going to watch us play Green
It's a
Bay.
great game to go to.
I want to see Aaron Rodgers. I want to see how we measure up. I want to.
It might be the last one that
T,
really counts.
you, Kevin, and I have talked, philosophically and waxed poetic about my granddad teaching me the way he would say, get binoculars and watch one guy, and pick a guy and watch him, and then take and especially if you're there live, you'll see the whole play, you're gonna watch everything, but like watch a one-on-one, and I want to watch our guys that day. I want to focus. I want to watch Jahan Dotson run routes against. The Green Bay has an excellent secondary. I want to watch Chase Young and Montez Sweat rush up, on their line. The Green Bay has put a line in front of Aaron Rodgers. Now it could be better, and I want to watch more than anything else. I want to look over at the sidelines. I want to see the interaction. I want to see a team that feels confident about itself going up against a great team. I've loved watching Washington and Green Bay games. I've watched a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them. Unfortunately, again, good memories, bad memories. James Thrash on a questionable penalty. That's the worst penalty call ever. They called James Thrash for a penalty when we threw a touchdown to win the game. They took it away from us. We lost the game. That was against Brett Favre. We've taken Aaron Rodgers to overtime and beaten him. I love watching us play good teams when we feel good about ourselves. That's what I think is going to happen in Week 7. Whether I think we win or lose, we have it down as a loss. That's the game you if you're a football fan.
It's gonna be a great game.
You want to watch that game.
I hope it's gonna be a great game.
All right. So I'll
Even
snake
in
it
a
back,
loss.
and I stole that from you. You left it hanging just a little bit too long. I got one more pick to go, and it's to me it's a very. I'm trying to. I got to go on the road here. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna stay in Week 12.
That's home.
I know. I was thinking about
So
whether or not
you just did a last minute.
do I go for a win in Philly, a win at Houston, a win at Detroit.
You just.
Do I want to be there for the opening win against Jacksonville?
Okay.
I don't. But I do want to be there in Week 12. November 27th. The holiday season has officially started. We're past Thanksgiving. We're making lists. We're picking the toys we want. We're making hints to people. You should buy me this for Christmas.
I'm hearing
Maybe
you.
think about
I'm
that.
hearing you.
Where the music, the 97.1 is playing 24/7 Christmas music. It's in the air.
I'm hearing it.
And
feeling it.
you're gonna go and you're gonna watch a good Washington team beat Atlanta.
A poopy Atlanta.
And I'm gonna get to see my friend Brian Griffin.
Congratulations.
And it's gonna be awesome.
That's worth it. That's worth the price right there.
Right
Okay.
there. I'm
There
going
you
to see Griff.
Rhett?
My last pick. Rhett, what do you got? Atlanta's off the board, Week 12. The ATL. Done. Off the board. We're not leaving our good friends.
Listen, why not go Jacksonville Week 1?
You can.
You can?
ahead.
Why not?
It's all you,
I
dude.
mean,
It's
that's-
all you.
That's the game that we need to come out,
September 11th.
beat that team by 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
There you
I
go.
don't
3
believe in
touchdowns.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's a lot of
Travis
points, by the
Etienne, I
way.
don't know if he's gonna be back.
Can we bet on that now? If you think it's 3 touchdowns, because I guarantee you that's more than the over/under
I'm sure.
or
it
the
is.
spread.
I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence whatsoever.
Okay.
That's the game I think we come out and we say. this
You have a thing against men with long hair, is what you're saying.
By the way,
women with long hair, men with long hair.
just so you know, you've taken 3 of the 4 AFC South games. You got Indy, Tennessee, and Jacksonville.
Wow.
Mixed with some Cleveland. So
I
you're
think
all
there's some
AFC
subconscious
all day.
Stuff there going on there, dude. I think
Sure,
you
a
need
lot
to
of
analyze.
AFC,
That needs to be analyzed.
Yeah.
That needs to
I
be
just think that's the
analyzed
game
by
that
a
we need to come out and
psychiatrist.
say, all right, we're actually a good team. I don't.
Yeah.
I want to play Jacksonville Week 1.
Wait, spread is 4? We're favored by 4 against Jacksonville right now? Is that true, Greg Martin? Please tell me.
It's 4.5, I think.
It should be 7.5, to be honest with you.
I think
We'll
it's
take
4.5
it. We'll
today.
take the 4.
Well, I want to put my 401k on. Seriously.
I saw it today. It was
There's no
4.5.
reason we should not beat that team by 2 touchdowns.
Holy macaroni. If only you know what? I need all of my gambling apps to have a breathalyzer on them though, because we can't just be like just get to 10:43 on a Tuesday night, decide amongst ourselves.
Who scares you on Jacksonville?
No one scares me on Jacksonville. I'm not scared about Jacksonville. I'm scared about my last name ends in a vowel, son. These people know what they're doing, and you know they know what they're doing when they make lines. This is how they made America great. Like these people understand something that we don't, and it's why there's 80-foot skyscrapers built in the middle of a desert. A desert.
All right, take Jacksonville +4. I dare you.
No, I'm not taking Jacksonville
I
plus
dare
4.
you.
You just gotta think twice.
Dare you.
Mr. Irrelevant. What's he gonna be?
So I don't think it's been taken. And you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all. And I know that we
Ooh.
haven't done well on Monday nights.
Mm-hmm.
I know we haven't done well on Monday nights against this particular opponent.
You're traveling.
But I want to go to Pat's Cheesesteak. Second reference.
10.
By the way. To
Philadelphia
Pat's
Eagles.
Cheesesteaks. And I want to get a whiz with. I might get a couple.
Wow.
I
Monday
might
night
get
game.
a dozen. I might get a dozen, eat a couple, and bring some home with me after a win
Worst.
at Philadelphia.
Some of the worst.
And I would wear
Memories
as
of my
much
life.
Washington Commander gear, and I would deck out my chair, and I would have flares, and I would be so obnoxious because they can't do anything to somebody in a wheelchair. So I can be as obnoxious as I want to be in Philadelphia, and I'll be fine.
I have
Maybe.
been
Maybe.
At
Actually,
this
actually, the
game
wheelchair stuff I don't think works in
multiple
Philadelphia.
times. It's tough.
I know.
tough.
But you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at all.
All right.
Not afraid to
Well,
go in
you
there
shouldn't be.
on a Monday night. And yeah,
All right. So we have
South Street.
12 games picked.
Coming.
4 games left. The order is, and I believe the A team picks first. Greg Martin picks second. No, I'm sorry. I have that wrong. Where is it? A team, manner of speaking, Tom Arangolo, Greg Martin. All right, A team, you're up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left. 5 games left. By the way,
What's he
Tom
got?
Arangolo accurately points out that his family has forbidden him to attend Philadelphia games in any sport. Now, this ban originates from actually a Philadelphia.
So no Flyers
Phillies
games, no
games.
Sixers
No
games,
Flyers, no 76ers.
no gamblers, whatever the
No
USFL
gamblers.
whatever the USFL game is.
No Eagles.
I don't know if it's game. Stars. It was the
Yeah.
Stars.
There's
No Stars games.
no. If they have an MLS team, which I
No
think
Villanova games.
no Villanova games, no LaSalle, no
St.
Temple,
Joe's.
no Drexel, none of it. No UPenn. Forget about it.
No.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
You
Tom's
know,
not allowed.
I was sitting next to him at a Phillies Nats game at RFK Stadium in the late 2000 aughts, and I looked at him and I said, "Dad, maybe you shouldn't come to Philadelphia games anymore. You just seem to get really angry." And I was like, and
You
I
know
get
what,
it.
Tom? I'm taking you with me
Yes,
to the.
it wasn't a forbidding
to the Monday night,
situation.
November.
It was like a
14th
mental
game.
health thing.
I'm taking him. I'm gonna change the fortunes.
And he passed it down to us. I get fired up, and I picked my first round pick was a Philadelphia game at home. I want to be there with the Philadelphia fans because I want to tell them I hold my hand out to shake their hand. Good game. Thanks for making the trip. Thanks for making the trip.
Tom, we're going. I'm driving. You're buying.
I've been there. Tom says he's there. You and him are a team. Good luck with that. Vaya con Dios, both of you. The A team, where are you at? Here's the team. Here's what's available. Mel Kiper's best available. Week 2 at Detroit. Week 4 at Dallas. Week 9 at home against Kirk
At
Cousins.
Dallas wasn't taken.
Week 10 is taken by T at Philadelphia. Week 11 at Houston, and Week 13 at home against the New York Giants. The A team, you get first pick of those 5. What do you got?
He might not be with us. He might not be with us anymore. He might have to turn it in early. I think his wife
he's
called.
Still there. He's still
His
there.
wife said, "Hey,
I think
let's go."
I got to be honest with you. I think there's one that jumps off the page here. In fact, there's 2.
I can't believe at Dallas was not taken. Who doesn't want to go see Jerry's World? Check that out.
I don't need to.
Come on, it's like it's.
I don't need to go to a 110,000 seat stadium. F that. I literally I'm closer
Really
here
good
in my
nude-
living room.
Really good nude bars. New bars in Dallas.
Nudie bars in
Nudie
Dallas.
bars, yeah, they
Really?
get
That's
going.
why I'm going all the way to Dallas to watch the Cowboys game for nudie bars. Oh,
At least
A team takes the
They
Vikings.
did when I was 22, 23, 24.
We rang that up as a loss. The A team, I'm interested. If you think that's a loss, obviously you wouldn't see us beat Kirk Cousins.
He took the Minnesota game.
He has T has it as a win. I have it as a loss.
Win.
Yeah.
Win.
Kirk Cousins is not coming here.
We're both the same record after that game. All right. If I'm not mistaken, then manner of speaking, you're up. Let me know if you need a refresh. Week 4 at Dallas. Manner of speaking wants a W at home. Oh, he's got the Vikings as a W at home. Manner of speaking, you're up. Week 4 at Dallas. Week 11 at Houston. Week 13 at the Giants. Those are available. Detroit also available.
You guys have all known. You all have witnessed. I don't know if anybody really has paid attention, but he has still yet to pour my third drink.
Ooh,
that I asked for a while ago. While we wait
that's a fact.
patiently.
I just got shamed. You know what? Someone should give him a like for
riveting content. What do we got there?
that. Red Breast 15.
No, did he?
Manner of speaking is taking Giants in a beatdown. So he's traveling to New York. There will be
That's not
nobody
bad.
there but us.
That's
by
not
the way.
bad. That's not bad. That's
I
the
think
beginning
that
of
is the
Christmas
next-
season. I think they put the tree up that weekend in Rockefeller Center.
When is that? Week 13.
Yeah, I think
That's
think,
Sunday,
yeah,
December
You
4th.
can make a nice trip out of that. That'd
Yeah,
be
you can.
That would be good.
I
New
think
York-
that's
New
like-
York in December is actually really pretty cool.
An uninterested crowd at that point in the season. There will be a lot of
things
Washington
could probably
fans there.
still be on the cheap side for December.
All right, Tom Marangolo, you can go
Not a
to
bad
Detroit.
pick.
You can go to Dallas. You can go to Houston. That's all you got. And Greg Martin, you're on deck. So Tom Marangolo is going to decide if he's going to Detroit, Dallas, or Houston. Oh, of course. What do you think of Marangolo would decide?
He's going to Dallas.
Of
to rub
course
it
he
in,
is.
To rub it in their
He's
faces.
going to
'cause
Dallas.
He's not afraid.
We're going to be 4-0 after
Tom
that
is
game.
not afraid.
You have a loss there. I have a win there.
You know what? I'm taking Tom to Philadelphia. Tom's going to take me to Dallas. I think this is a package deal, sir.
He's probably your best wingman that you've ever had at a football game in history of your life.
What are the chances that me and Tom Marangolo can survive those 2 trips?
100 billion
Just the 2 of
%.
us. Just the 2 of us.
Okay, well, if you start singing, probably the chances are less.
Getting weird in Philadelphia and Dallas. I don't know. Let's see.
No, Tom Marangolo. Marangolo in Dallas. I'm just over the idea of the Jerry's World, whatever it's called.
It's a massive structure. It's awesome to see.
I know, but it's just not. It's not for the sport.
The man knows how to spend his money. Don't hate
Wait,
him for that.
So I disagree with that. He's made money. He knows how to make money. He doesn't know how to spend his money. He doesn't know how to make money. I think a 55 to 60,000 seat stadium is the ideal venue for a person to go and see it. That's 40,000 more people. You know, there's people who can't see the field. They have to watch the screen. You go there to watch the screen.
I'm not going there because it's a great place. I'm going there because it's a gigantic place.
Destination.
I just want to say I saw Jerry's World. This place is freaking amazing. I'm with you, Tom. I'm with you.
To me, like it's the Facebook.
You're with me to Philly, and I'm with you to Dallas.
It's the
Let's do it.
Facebook of the NFL world. I'll be glad to never be a part of it for the rest of my life.
Okay. And everything's on me in the first nudie bar.
Okay, well, so now I'm officially back in.
Now you're jealous.
Now I'm jealous. All right, Greg. Week 2 at Detroit or Week 11 at Houston? 2013 opener.
Man.
Lost with high expectations.
I never thought I'd be faced
Oh,
with
he's
the
going to
decision
Houston.
of Detroit or Houston. Yeah, you got to, because Houston's a better city.
Dude, Motown.
Yeah, well,
By the way, the Motown draft.
Yeah.
So, Tom Marangolo, I know you're still listening, so you know
you
this.
make a good point, but that's just one thing.
I'm pulling in
Houston
Tom
has a
Marangolo
lot of other stuff to it.
officially to represent the board. Now, we've had a number of drafts over the last month and a half, 2 months. We've had people from the board represented in the draft. We have a Motown draft coming up, which we've said is happening. Kevin's going to be back
It won't be until
after July 4th.
after July 4th.
After July 4th. All right, so Tom Marangolo, you will be drafting for the board a draft of Motown songs. So you just couple minutes every day here and there. Just start making a list of your top most favorite Motown songs. We were trying to think of it. Should it be bands? But we said no. Hitsville USA
Songs.
has to be dedicated to hits.
Songs.
We're going songs, Motown songs, all time. We're gonna draft this out. Kevin, T, I, and Tom Marangolo, who raised me on Motown, he gets to draft for the board. Everyone on the board gets a chance. So, good question. Tom Marangolo says how many songs? I think since we have 4 people drafting, I think there's got to be no less than 6 rounds. It's going to be a 6-round draft. We always have potential bonus rounds. We'll see if we get there. We want to also know who's going to be on the board that night. We might get some bonus rounds. But you want to have, I think you want to rank at least 30 songs. That to me is fair. I think that's what you want to do. 30 Motown hits. Start your research now. T, without Kevin, but with Benjamin and a little help from Rhett, we got this done tonight.
We did. I think we did it admirably. We do miss you, Kevin. Once again, congratulations
Yes.
on a
Thank
milestone. For your anniversary. We plowed through it. I thought we did a great job of really picking it apart. Again, I am absolutely floored that I have him at 12-5, but that was my knee-jerk reaction. I'm going to stick to it. I have faith, and we must go forward with that faith.
We are going to
Which I will do.
hold our draft topic ideas for next week until next week. We'll let you know at the top of the show what it's going to be. But until then, really appreciate you guys for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. Thank you so much for making Tuesdays great. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, he's Tim Strachan.
Appreciate it, guys. See you next week.
He's Benjamin. Then I'll call him the best color man in the business for nothing. I'm Ken Marangolo. This was Thank God It's Tuesday. We are still live.
Come on, play.
He's Rhett Donnelly.
Play. Play.